Hey everyone, I'm Sophia, 30 years old from Seattle. Picture this. Your own brother, someone you grew up with, destroys your dream job with one viral video. One night, one post, and my entire career was torched. Family betrayal? It's like a punch to the gut, isn't it? But wait, it gets crazier. After I clawed my way back from rock bottom to build a fortune, my family, who didn't care when I was drowning, suddenly showed up, hands out, demanding their cut. What I sent them instead. Oh, it left them speechless, and their faces were priceless. Stick with me to find out what happened, you won't believe it. Drop a like, hit subscribe, and let's dive into this wild ride together. Here's the deal. I never thought my brother Ryan would go that far. Growing up in our Seattle suburb, we were the Millers. Nice house, big backyard, all-American vibe. But behind closed doors, it was a mess. By 12, I was the family's fixer, paying bills, making sure my little sister Chloe got to school, while Ryan, the golden boy, could do no wrong. He'd crash Dad's car and they'd buy him a new one. Me? I worked 2 jobs to afford college. When I landed a gig at Horizon Tech leading campaigns that won awards, I thought I'd finally made it. But Ryan? He couldn't stand it. His jealousy was like a ticking bomb, and that video was the explosion that changed everything. What he did and how my family reacted will make your jaw drop. Where are you watching from? Comment below and let me know if you've ever dealt with family drama like this. Trust me, this story's just getting started, and you'll want to see how I turned the tables. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep going. Alright, you're still with me, and I'm so glad because this story's about to get even wilder. I'm Sophia, 30, from Seattle, and I just told you how my brother Ryan tanked my dream job with one viral video that set my career on fire. Family betrayal stings, doesn't it? When I finally rebuilt from nothing, raking in a fortune, my family, who ghosted me when I was scraping by, came crawling back, demanding a piece of my success. What I sent them instead. Let's just say it was a wake-up call they never saw coming. Their reactions? Oh, you'll want to stick around for that. If you're new here, hit that like button, drop your city in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss how this unfolds. Let's rewind a bit. Growing up in our Seattle suburb, the Millers looked like the perfect all-American family. Big backyard, 4th of July barbecues, the works. But behind the scenes it was anything but. By 12, I was the family's unofficial CFO, balancing bills, getting my little sister Chloe to school, and playing referee for my parents' shouting matches. Mom Linda and Dad David were always at each other's throats, and I was the glue holding it together. Meanwhile, Ryan, 2 years older at 32, was their golden boy. He could do no wrong. Crash Dad's truck? They bought him a shiny new one. Flunked out of community college? They called it finding his path. Me? I was the responsible one, expected to have it all figured out. By 16, I was working 2 jobs, barista by day, tutor by night, to save for college. I clawed my way into the University of Washington, juggling scholarships and loans, while Ryan's business ventures, think failed sneaker resales, were bankrolled by Mom and Dad without a second thought. Chloe, my younger sister, 26, was the baby of the family, always chasing trends. One week she was a vegan lifestyle coach. The next, a crypto influencer. Mom and Dad ate it up, showering her with cash for every whim, while I got lectures about budgeting if I asked for gas money. Ryan, though, was the real star. His charm, that $1 million smile, got him out of everything. When I graduated high school with a 4.0 GPA, they barely noticed, too busy cheering Ryan's DJ career. That lasted 3 gigs. I still remember Dad saying, "Sophia, you're practical. Ryan's the dreamer." Translation: Ryan's dreams were worth funding. Mine were my problem. Fast forward to my big break at Horizon Tech, a Seattle tech firm. At 28, I was leading marketing campaigns, winning awards, and eyeing a promotion that had changed my life. I rented a tiny studio apartment in Capitol Hill, thrift shopped my work wardrobe, and poured everything into my job. But Ryan, he couldn't handle it. My success was like a personal insult to him. He'd make snide comments at family dinners, mandatory Sunday roasts at Mom and Dad's, calling my job selling corporate garbage. Mom would laugh it off, saying, "Ryan's just teasing, sophomore, don't be so serious." Chloe would roll her eyes and Dad would change the subject. Deep down, I knew Ryan's jokes were rooted in something darker. His jealousy was building, and I had no idea he was about to unleash a stunt that had cost me everything. What did he do? Oh, it's a gut punch. Comment below if you've got a sibling who's ever tried to dim your shine. And let's keep this story rolling. You're still here and I'm pumped things are about to heat up. I'm Sophia, 30, from Seattle, and if you caught my last bit, you know my brother Ryan's jealousy was a ticking time bomb. He couldn't stand my success at Horizon Tech, where I was killing it with award-winning campaigns. I told you how our family, the Millers, looked all-American but played favorites. Ryan was the golden boy, while I was stuck playing family fixer since I was 12. My parents, David and Linda, and little sister Chloe never saw my grind, only Ryan's dreams. When I built a fortune from nothing after a brutal betrayal, my family came knocking for handouts. What I sent them instead? A total game changer. Stick with me to see their jaws drop. Hit like, subscribe, and comment if you've ever felt invisible in your own family. Let's dive into those early years to see why Ryan's stunt hit so hard. Growing up in our Seattle suburb, I was the kid who kept the lights on literally. By 14, I was budgeting mom's grocery money so we wouldn't lose power again. I'd bike Chloe to school, help with her homework, and still pull straight A's. Meanwhile, Ryan at 16 was sneaking out, racking up speeding tickets, and charming his way out of trouble. Mom would say, "Ryan's got a big personality, sophomore. You're the steady one." Steady meant invisible. When I won a math Olympiad at 15, Dad barely glanced up from Ryan's business plan for a skateboard shop that never opened. They gave him $500 for it. I got a pat on the back. By 18, I was juggling 2 jobs, waitressing and tutoring, to fund my University of Washington tuition. Ryan, he dropped out of community college after 1 semester, claiming it stifled his creativity. Mom and Dad paid for his music studio setup instead. $2,000 down the drain. Chloe, always chasing the next big thing, got a new iPhone every year while I used a cracked hand-me-down. Family dinners were a minefield. I'd share my college acceptance news and Ryan would steer the conversation to his latest scheme. A food truck, a sneaker brand, you name it. Mom would beam. "Ryan's so entrepreneurial." Dad would nod, and Chloe would post it on Instagram. "My wins? That's nice, Soph, but don't get cocky," Dad would say. Fast forward to 28, I landed at Horizon Tech. My campaigns went viral, think billboards across Seattle, features and tech blogs. I was saving for a bigger apartment, maybe even a car. But Ryan's teasing got nastier. At one Sunday roast, I shared a campaign that hit 1 million views online. Ryan scoffed. "Anyone can make ads, sophomore, try doing something real." Mom laughed. "Oh, Ryan, you're too much." Chloe snapped a selfie, and Dad changed the subject to Ryan's podcast idea. I swallowed my hurt, but Ryan's eyes had this glint, pure resentment. He started small. Borrowing my work badge and losing it, or accidentally spilling coffee on my presentation notes. I brushed it off, thinking he was just being Ryan. But he was plotting something way bigger, something that'd shatter my world in one night. What was it? It's a gut-wrenching twist. Drop a comment if you've had someone undermine your hard work. And let's keep this story going. Subscribe to catch the next part. Alright, you're still riding this roller coaster with me, and I'm so stoked. Things are about to get even crazier. I'm Sophia, 30, from Seattle, and last time, I peeled back the curtain on my family, the Millers. Growing up, I was the invisible fixer, balancing bills at 14 while my brother Ryan, the golden boy, got a free pass for every screw-up. My parents, David and Linda, and little sister Chloe cheered his every whim, while my straight A's and college grind barely got a nod. I clawed my way to success at Horizon Tech, leading campaigns that lit up Seattle. But Ryan's jealousy wasn't just snide comments or spilled coffee. It was a full-on vendetta. When I rebuilt from nothing and hit it big, my family, who ditched me when I was broke, came sniffing for my fortune. What I sent them instead? Oh, it flipped their world upside down. If you're loving this, smash that like button, drop your city in the comments, and subscribe to see how this drama unfolds. Let's rewind to my rise at Horizon Tech, where Ryan's resentment started bubbling over. At 28, I was living the dream, well, as dreamy as a 500-square-foot Capitol Hill studio gets. My marketing campaigns were fire. One ad for a local startup hit 2 million views online, landing me a feature in a Seattle tech magazine. I was thrift shopping blazers, saving for a car, and gunning for a senior strategist role that'd double my salary. Sunday dinners at Mom and Dad's were still mandatory, and I'd show up, hoping for once they'd see me. I'd share my wins, like a campaign that got a shout-out at a tech conference, And Ryan would cut in with, "Marketing's just fluff, sophomore. I'm working on a real hustle." Mom would giggle. "Ryan's so driven." Chloe would post his hustle on TikTok, and Dad would ask about Ryan's latest pitch, a vape shop that never materialized. "My news? That's great, Soph, but don't burn out," Dad would say, like my grind was a hobby. Ryan's teasing started escalating. Once, he borrowed my laptop for his music project and returned it with a fried hard drive, my client presentation gone. I spent 12 hours rebuilding it, barely sleeping before a big meeting. "Oops, my bad," he smirked, and Mom brushed it off. "Accidents happen, sophomore, don't make a fuss." Another time at a family barbecue, he jokingly told my cousin, a Horizon intern, that I was too stressed to handle big projects. The rumor spread to my team, and I had to smooth things over with my boss, Lauren, who luckily believed me. I kept my head down, thinking I could outwork Ryan's pettiness. But he was watching my every move, and his jealousy was about to ignite. At 29, I was on the cusp of a breakthrough. Horizon's CEO tapped me to pitch a game-changing campaign to a major client, a deal that'd lock in my promotion. I spent 3 weeks perfecting every slide, practicing until I could nail it blindfolded. The night before the pitch, I called Mom to skip Sunday dinner. "This is huge, Mom. I need to prep," I said. Her voice went cold. "Ryan's announcing his new app idea. Family comes first, Sophia." Guilt twisted my gut, but I stood firm. Later, Ryan texted, "Ditching us for your fancy job? Real classy, sis." I ignored him, went to bed early, and woke at 5 to rehearse. I slipped into my best suit, a charcoal number I'd saved 6 months for, and headed to Horizon's downtown office, buzzing with adrenaline. Then it all unraveled. My campaign was a video ad, stored on Horizon's secure server. When I logged into Present, the file was gone, replaced by a doctored version. The screen lit up with me in a grainy clip, slurring insults about Lauren, calling our clients greedy tech bros, and mocking the company's mission. Gasps filled the room. Lauren's face went stone cold. "Sophia, explain this," she demanded. My stomach dropped. "That's not me. I didn't make this." I stammered, but the damage was done. By lunch, HR called. "We've got reports of you sharing this video internally. You're terminated, effective immediately." My key card was cut off. Colleagues I'd laughed with for 2 years avoided my eyes as security escorted me out. I stood on the sidewalk, rain soaking my suit, my dream job gone in one morning. Back at my apartment, I found a text from an unknown number, a coworker who'd forwarded the video. I watched it, heart pounding. The voice was mine, but the cadence, the slang, it wasn't right. Then it clicked, Ryan. He'd always mimicked me to prank friends growing up. He'd recorded me at a family party, spliced it with fake audio, and hacked my work account to upload it. I sped to Mom and Dad's, where Ryan was lounging, scrolling his phone. "You did this," I said, voice shaking. "You ruined my life." He smirked. "Chill, sophomore. It was a joke. You'll get another gig." Mom stepped in. "Don't blow this out of proportion. Ryan didn't mean harm." Dad shrugged. "Maybe it's a sign to try something new." Chloe giggled. "You're trending on Twitter, Soph." I looked at them, my family dismissing my destruction, and something broke inside me. Ryan's joke didn't just cost me a job. It torched my reputation. What happened next? It's a fight for survival you won't want to miss. Comment if someone's ever sabotaged your hard work. Hit subscribe and let's keep going. You're still here, and I'm so grateful, because this story's about to hit you right in the feels. I'm Sophia, 30, from Seattle, and last time, I laid bare how my brother Ryan obliterated my dream job at Horizon Tech with a fake viral video that painted me as a corporate traitor. One morning, my career was ashes, and my family, the Millers, stood by Ryan, calling his sabotage a joke. Growing up, I was the fixer, juggling bills at 14, while Ryan, the golden boy, got a free pass. My parents, David and Linda, and sister Chloe barely noticed my grind, but cheered Ryan's every flop. When I rose from nothing to a fortune, my family, who ghosted me in my darkest days, demanded their share. What I sent them instead? A bombshell they never expected. If this is hitting home, smash that like button, drop a comment about your own family drama, and subscribe to see how I fought back. After Ryan's video cost me my job, I was a wreck. Standing in the Seattle rain, my best suit soaked, I felt my world collapse. Horizon Tech was my everything: 2 years of late nights, scrapped lunches, and thrift store blazers to build a name in a cutthroat industry. That fake video with me slurring insults about my boss and clients didn't just get me fired, it torched my reputation. By noon, my phone buzzed with texts from colleagues. "How could you, Soph?" Others shared the clip on LinkedIn, labeling me unprofessional. I called Lauren, my boss, begging to explain. "The video's on our servers, Sophia," she said, ice cold. "Don't insult me by lying." I tried saying it was Ryan's voiceover, but she hung up. I was blacklisted in Seattle's tight-knit tech scene before the day ended. I dragged myself to Mom and Dad's, where Ryan was sprawled on the couch smirking. "You hacked my account and posted that video," I said, trembling. "You knew it'd ruin me." He laughed. "It was just for laughs, sophomore. You're too dramatic." Mom jumped in. "He didn't mean it, honey. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill." Dad sighed. "Jobs come and go. Maybe this one wasn't right for you." Chloe, scrolling TikTok, chimed in. "You're kind of famous now, sophomore, lean into it." I played the video on my phone, pointing out Ryan's sloppy edits, the slightly off pitch, the phrases I'd never use. They didn't care. "You're overreacting," Dad said. "Ryan's sorry, aren't you?" Ryan shrugged, not even faking remorse. I left, realizing my family would never hold him accountable. They'd enabled him my whole life, and this was just another Tuesday. The next 3 months were hell. I filed for unemployment, but Horizon's cause termination delayed it. My savings, $2,000 from skipped coffees and secondhand clothes, covered 1 month's rent in my tiny Capitol Hill studio. I applied to 50 marketing jobs, but the video followed me. At interviews, I'd see recruiters' faces shift when they Googled me. "Can you explain this incident at Horizon?" one asked. I told the truth, my brother's sabotage, but it sounded like a soap opera. "We'll pass," they'd say. I started selling stuff. My TV, my winter coat, even the silver necklace Grandma left me. By month 2, I was skipping dinner, rationing ramen, and dodging my landlord's calls about late rent. $1,200 I didn't have. My family? Radio silence. No check-ins, no apologies. One night, I got a group text from Mom. "Ryan's launching his fitness app. Join us Sunday to celebrate." Not a word about my struggle. I didn't reply. At my lowest, I sat in my freezing apartment, spreadsheets open, calculating how long before eviction, maybe 3 weeks. I felt like a failure, betrayed by the people who should have had my back. But something in me refused to quit. I remembered Grandma saying, "When you're down, don't beg. Build." So I did. Out of desperation, I crashed a free tech mixer at a Fremont co-working space. I couldn't afford business cards, so I scribbled my email on napkins. In my one decent outfit, now loose from stress, I felt like an imposter among Seattle's tech elite. Then a voice cut through. "You look like you need this." Claire, a 50-something woman with sharp eyes and a warm smile, handed me a coffee. She was the founder of NovaLabs, a scrappy startup building an AI budgeting app. We talked for an hour, my marketing wins, my passion for storytelling. "You've got grit," she said. "Come pitch tomorrow. No promises, but we need fighters." I walked home in the rain again, but this time I felt a spark. Was this my lifeline? Ryan's betrayal had broken me, but Claire's offer was a crack of light. What happened next? It's a comeback you need to hear. Comment if you've ever had to start over. Hit subscribe and let's keep this going. You're still with me, and I'm so fired up, because this story's about to take a wild turn. I'm Sophia, 30, from Seattle, and last time, I shared how my brother Ryan obliterated my career at Horizon Tech with a fake viral video that got me blacklisted. My family, the Millers, called it a joke, leaving me to drown in unemployment and debt. Growing up, I was the fixer, juggling bills at 14, while Ryan, the golden boy, got endless free passes from our parents, David and Linda, and sister Chloe. When I rebuilt from nothing and hit a fortune, my family, who ignored my struggles, demanded their cut. What I sent them instead? A total shocker that flipped their world. If this resonates, smash that like button, comment your own comeback story, and subscribe to see how I rose from the ashes. After Ryan's sabotage, I hit rock bottom. 3 months of rejection, 50 job applications, 0 offers. I sold my grandma's necklace, skipped meals, and faced eviction from my tiny Capitol Hill studio. My family? They threw Ryan a party for his latest app, while I rationed ramen. But at a low point, a tech mixer changed everything. Claire, a startup founder, saw my grit and invited me to pitch at NovaLabs, an AI budgeting app startup. That night, walking home in Seattle's drizzle, I felt a flicker of hope. Was this my shot to rebuild? I had no idea it'd lead to a life I never dared dream of. I showed up at NovaLabs' office, a funky Belltown loft with mismatched chairs and too many succulents, at 10 sharp. Claire, in her 50s with a no-nonsense vibe, didn't sugarcoat it. We're a startup. Pays low, hours are long, and we're 6 months from broke. But we need someone who can sell our app to real people, not just tech brothers. You in? The role marketing coordinator was a step down from Horizon's glamour, with a salary barely covering my $1,200 rent. But Claire's faith in me was a lifeline. I said yes on the spot, shaking off the voice whispering I was too good for this. I'd been humbled. Pride wasn't an option. My first weeks were grunt work. Writing blog posts about budgeting, scheduling tweets, designing flyers on free software. NovaLabs was chaos. 10 employees, 1 coffee machine, and a whiteboard of wild ideas. But unlike Horizon's corporate grind, every voice mattered. During a brainstorming session, I pitched a video series. Relatable characters tackling real money problems, like splitting rent or dodging awkward Venmo requests. That's gold, said Max, the grumpy coder who rarely spoke. Claire nodded. Run with it, Sophia. For the first time since Horizon, I felt seen. I threw myself into NovaLabs. Mornings, I walked my rescue dog, Luna, a one-eared mutt I adopted to fill the silence in my apartment. Days, I worked 12-hour shifts learning AI basics to align my campaigns. Evenings, I joined trivia nights with Mia, NovaLabs' office manager, who'd survived her own family drama. My dad cut me off for moving out, she shared. Best thing I ever did. Her no BS attitude helped me see my family's betrayal clearer. I blocked their numbers, muted their texts, and focused on rebuilding. My apartment, once a reminder of failure, became my sanctuary. String lights, second-hand books, and Luna's snores. 6 months in, my video series launched. Titled Money Moves, it featured a broke barista and her roommate navigating Seattle's insane rent. It went viral, 2 million views in 1 month. Users flooded NovaLabs' app, praising its simplicity. Claire called me in. Your videos are why our user base doubled. You're not just a coordinator anymore. She promoted me to marketing lead with a $10,000 raise. I paid off my $3,000 credit card debt and bought Luna a fancy dog bed. For the first time, I wasn't just surviving, I was thriving. But the real game changer came 9 months later. At a team meeting, Claire walked in with champagne. We just landed $15 million in venture capital, she announced. The room erupted. My Money Moves series had caught the eye of a big-shot investor who loved our human-first approach. Max, the coder, fist-bumped me, a miracle. My salary jumped again and I got stock options which felt like monopoly money then. I moved to a 1-bedroom in Fremont, with a view of the Puget Sound. Luna and I took weekend hikes in the Cascades, and I started therapy to unpack my family's baggage. You're rewriting your story, my therapist said. I was, until my family got wind of my success. Ryan's betrayal had shattered me, but NovaLabs was my rebirth. Little did I know my family was watching, waiting to pounce. What happened when they did? It's a showdown you won't believe. Have you ever had to cut ties to save yourself? Drop it in the comments, hit subscribe, and let's see how this saga unfolds. You're still riding this wave with me, and I'm beyond thrilled. This story's about to soar to new heights. I'm Sophia, 30, from Seattle, and last time, I shared how I clawed my way back from the wreckage of my brother Ryan's sabotage. His fake viral video torched my dream job at Horizon Tech, and my family, the Millers, shrugged it off as a joke. Growing up, I was the fixer juggling bills at 14 while Ryan, the golden boy, got endless free passes from our parents, David and Linda, and sister Chloe. After hitting rock bottom, selling my grandma's necklace, dodging eviction, I found a lifeline at NovaLabs, a scrappy startup. My Money Moves video series went viral, doubling their users, and landed me a promotion. When I built a fortune, my family, who ghosted me in my darkest days, came begging for handouts. What I sent them? A jaw-dropping wake-up call. If this hits home, smash that like button, share your comeback story in the comments, and subscribe to see how I rewrote my future. NovaLabs was my rebirth. 6 months after joining my video series, relatable characters tackling money woes like splitting Seattle's insane rent hit 2 million views. Users flocked to our AI budgeting app, and Claire, the founder, bumped me to marketing lead with a $10,000 raise. I paid off my $3,000 credit card debt, upgraded my Fremont apartment, and spoiled Luna, my one-eared rescue dog, with a plush bed. Therapy helped me unpack my family's betrayal, and trivia nights with Mia, NovaLabs office manager, became my safe haven. I was building a life on my terms until NovaLabs hit the big leagues. 9 months in, Claire stormed our Belltown loft office with champagne. "We've got $15 million in venture capital," she shouted. The 10 of us coders, designers, me cheered like kids. My Money Moves series had wowed a top investor who loved our real-world approach. My salary jumped to 6 figures and I got stock options, 50,000 shares that felt like play money. We moved to a sleek downtown high-rise, hired 20 new faces, and I was named marketing director at 30. My campaigns kept soaring. One ad featuring a single mom budgeting for her kid's birthday hit 5 million views. I bought a 2-bedroom condo on the Puget Sound, with floor-to-ceiling windows and a balcony for Luna's sunbathing. I reclaimed my grandma's necklace from the pawn shop, added a matching bracelet, and started a photography hobby, snapping Seattle's misty skyline. Therapy sessions with Dr. Lee helped me see my worth wasn't tied to my family's approval. "You're thriving because you chose you," she said. I felt unstoppable. Then, 12 months after joining NovaLabs, lightning struck. At a team huddle, Claire and our CEO, Ethan, grinned ear to ear. "We've been acquired," Ethan said. $100 million. My jaw dropped. A tech giant bought NovaLabs for our user base, 10 million strong, thanks to my campaigns. My stock options, now fully vested, were worth $5 million after taxes. I stared at the paperwork, dizzy. From rationing ramen to a multimillionaire in 1 year? Unreal. I kept my marketing director role with the new company, leading a team of 15, some twice my age. I furnished my condo with minimalist vibes, white sofas, driftwood art, and got Luna a doggy therapist for her anxiety. I joined a photography club, mentored young marketers, and volunteered at a dog shelter, helping pups like Luna find homes. My life was full, but my family was a shadow I'd left behind, until they smelled money. 15 months after Ryan's sabotage, I landed on Forbes' 30 Under 30 list. The article, with my photo overlooking the Puget Sound, detailed NovaLabs' rise and my role in its success. 3 days later, my phone exploded. Texts, voicemails, emails from Mom, Dad, Ryan, Chloe. "So proud, sweetie." Mom wrote, "As if we'd talked last week." Dad called, "We always knew you'd make it, kiddo." Ryan DM'd, "Big sis killing it. Let's grab drinks." Chloe sent a heart eyes emoji. "Your goals, Soph." I laughed, bitter. These were the people who laughed off Ryan's prank, ignored my eviction notices, and partied while I starved. Now they wanted in on my shine. Dr. Lee warned me, "Success draws vultures, even family." She was right. Their true colors showed fast. Mom texted about medical bills, needing a little help. Dad mentioned a leaky roof costing $20,000. Ryan pitched a crypto startup needing just $200,000. Chloe wanted a $50,000 Tesla to match her brand. I didn't respond, but their messages grew pushy. Ryan called, voice sharp. "You owe us, sophomore. We raised you." "Owe them? For what?" Dismissing my pain. I told them I'd think about it, buying time. Their greed was a gut punch, but it lit a fire. What I planned next wasn't revenge. It was truth packaged with a bow. Want to know what I sent? It's a showdown you can't miss. Comment if you faced entitled family demands, hit subscribe, and let's see how this saga unfolds. You're still here and I'm absolutely buzzing. This story's about to get real intense. I'm Sophia, 30, from Seattle, and last time, I told you how I rose from the ashes of my brother Ryan's betrayal. His fake viral video obliterated my dream job at Horizon Tech, and my family, the Millers, called it a prank, while I faced eviction and starvation. Growing up, I was the fixer, handling bills at 14, while Ryan, the golden boy, got endless free passes from our parents, David and Linda, and sister Chloe. At NovaLabs, my Money Moves series sparked a $15 million investment and a $100 million acquisition, landing me $5 million in stock options. When my Forbes 30 Under 30 feature dropped, my family, who ignored my struggles, came crawling back, demanding chunks of my fortune. What I sent them? A truth bomb that shook their world. If this hits you, smash that like button, share your family drama in the comments, and subscribe to see this showdown unfold. After the Forbes article, my phone lit up like a Christmas tree. Mom's texts gushed. So proud, sweetie. As if we'd been besties forever. Dad left voicemails. Always knew you'd make it, kid. Ryan slid into my DMs. Big sis, let's celebrate your win. Chloe sent emojis and a "You're iconic" Soph. I stared at my screen, laughing bitterly. These were the people who partied for Ryan's app, while I sold my grandma's necklace to pay rent. Now they wanted a slice of my $5 million pie? My therapist, Dr. Lee, nailed it. Success attracts leeches, even family. Their messages started sweet but turned greedy fast, and I knew I had to face them head-on. A week later, I agreed to meet at a swanky Belltown bistro, neutral ground, public enough to avoid a scene. I arrived early, picking a corner table with a view of the door, wearing a tailored blazer that screamed, "I've made it." Mom and Dad walked in looking smaller somehow. Mom's eyes widened at my vibe, confidence, not the desperate kid they knew. "Sophia, you're glowing," she said, lunging for a hug I didn't return. Dad's handshake was too firm. "Knew you had it in you, champ." Ryan sauntered in next, 20 minutes late, with a new girlfriend, Ava, who gawked like I was a celebrity. "My sister, the tech star," he boasted, loud enough for nearby tables to turn. Chloe arrived last, in a designer outfit she couldn't afford, squealing. "We're like twins now, Soph, both boss babes." We ordered drinks, sparkling water for me, a $200 bottle of Pinot for them. Small talk was painful. Mom rambled about their remodel plans. Dad bragged about his golf game. Ryan hyped his crypto venture. And Chloe pitched her influencer career. Not one asked about my life, my struggles, or the year I'd spent rebuilding. Over appetizers, the mask came off. Dad cleared his throat. "So, Soph, we're looking at retirement. The house needs a new roof, $20,000 minimum. And Mom's had some health scares, bills piling up." Mom nodded, vague. "Just tests, but insurance is stingy." I raised an eyebrow. "First I'm hearing of this." Dad pressed. "With your Forbes money, we figured you could help. Maybe $100,000 to tide us over." Ryan jumped in, grinning. "Speaking of, my crypto app's ready to launch. $200,000 gets you in on the ground floor. You'd be dumb to miss this." Ava nodded like a bobblehead. Chloe grabbed my hand. "Soph, I need a Tesla, $50,000 for my brand. I'll shout you out to my 3,000 followers." I sat back, stunned. They weren't just asking, they expected it. Like my $5 million was their birthright. Mom's voice turned sharp. "We're family, Sophia. Families share." Dad added. "We raised you, put a roof over your head. A little gratitude isn't too much, is it?" I kept my cool, sipping my water. "You're saying I owe you for raising me?" When Ryan's video got me fired, where was family then? I was skipping meals, Mom. Evicted in 3 weeks. Ryan rolled his eyes. "That was ages ago, sophomore. You're clearly fine now." Chloe giggled. "Yeah, you're like loaded." Dad leaned forward. "Don't hold grudges. That job wasn't your path. Look where you are now." I felt my blood boil. They didn't just dismiss Ryan's sabotage, they rewrote it as my fault. I signaled for the check, paid the $300 bill, and said, "I'll think about your requests. Expect something soon." Mom beamed, assuming cash was coming. Ryan winked. "That's my sis." In the Uber home, I let myself feel the hurt. Not for their greed, but for the family I never had. Dr. Lee's words echoed. "They want your money, not you." Over the next week, their texts escalated. Dad sent photos of roof damage. Ryan emailed a shoddy business plan. Chloe spammed links to Tesla models. I didn't reply, but I was planning. What I'd send wasn't cash. It was accountability, wrapped in truth. Want to know what shook them to their core? It's coming, and it's epic. Drop a comment if you face family entitlement. Hit subscribe, and let's see how this plays out. You're still here, and I'm so amped. This is where it gets explosive. I'm Sophia, 30, from Seattle, and last time, I spilled how my family, the Millers, demanded chunks of my $5 million fortune after my Forbes 30 Under 30 feature. My brother Ryan's fake video torched my Horizon Tech job, and my parents, David and Linda, and sister Chloe called it a prank, while I starved. At NovaLabs, my Money Moves series fueled a $100 million acquisition, making me a millionaire. When my family came begging, I promised something soon. What I sent? A truth bomb that rocked their world. If this hits you, smash that like button, share your story in the comments, and subscribe for the big reveal. After our bistro showdown, my family's greed lit a fire in me. Mom wanted $100,000 for bills. Dad needed $20,000 for a roof. Ryan pitched a $200,000 crypto app. And Chloe demanded a $50,000 Tesla. I didn't owe them a dime. Not after they dismissed Ryan's sabotage. With Dr. Lee's guidance, I crafted 4 packages, not of cash but accountability. For Ryan, I compiled his fake video, a cease and desist letter for defamation, and a $10,000 donation in his name to an anti-cyberbullying nonprofit, with a mandatory workshop. My note: your prank nearly broke me. Learn from this. Mom and Dad got financial planning books, records of their 3 refinanced mortgages, and a letter listing every time they favored Ryan, like funding his $5,000 DJ career over my college. I included a family therapist's contact. My note: my success isn't your ATM. Heal the favoritism and we can talk. Chloe's package had a budgeting course voucher, screenshots of her begging texts, and a note: build your own brand, not mine. I sent Ava, Ryan's girlfriend, a coffee shop gift card. Choose your family wisely. On Monday, I mailed them signature required, then took Luna hiking in the Cascades, bracing for the fallout. What happened next? Their reactions were unreal. Have you ever had to set hard boundaries? Comment below, hit subscribe, and let's see how they handled the truth. Hey everyone, I'm Sophia, 30, from Seattle. Imagine your own brother torching your dream job with one viral video. My brother Ryan did just that, and it gutted me. Family betrayal cuts deep, doesn't it? I rebuilt from nothing, striking a $5 million fortune, only for my family, who ghosted me when I was broke, to come begging for handouts. What I sent them instead? A total shocker that left them speechless. Their faces? Priceless. Stick around to see how it unfolded. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive in. Growing up in our Seattle suburb, we Millers seemed all-American, big backyard, barbecues, the works. But I was the fixer by 12, paying bills, while Ryan, 32, was the golden boy, crashing cars and still getting new ones. Mom Linda and Dad David cheered his every flop, while my straight A's barely got a nod. My sister Chloe, 26, chased trends funded by them. When I landed at Horizon Tech, killing it with viral campaigns, Ryan's jealousy simmered. His prank was no joke, it was sabotage. Want to know what he did? It's wild. Comment your city, share your family drama, and subscribe to keep going.